New tonight, now that we've started 2018, you might be wondering how the new Trump tax plan is going to benefit you.
Well, consumer reporter Bill McGinty has been researching what you need to know for the next few months, especially come tax season.
All right, we're off and running. The president signed the $1.5 trillion in tax reform just before the end of 2017. That means if you were going to make any changes, you really had to do it before the end of that year. And the two biggest things you could have done anyway were prepaying your property taxes to avoid this new $10,000 cap. But if they're lower than that anyway, it really isn't going to matter. The other is increase your charitable giving because the deductions in that area are going to be changing too. All right, now 2018, the big thing, the one thing that is going to affect almost everybody is how much more money you're going to be able to keep in your paycheck. This affects 75% of the people who filed their taxes. Now, the IRS conversion tables are not out yet. Their new standards are going to be released sometime later in January, which will then let companies know how to adjust all the withholding. Bottom line, you'll see changes, if any, in February. And your tax season this year should be normal unless you made changes last year. If you didn't, then don't worry. You won't see any changes in your tax filing status until the following year, which would be April of 2019. I used a tax calculator put out by a major newspaper to give you some sort of a rough estimate of what you might be looking at this coming February. Now, please know, there are many variables not included in this workup I'm about to show you. Things like how much you contribute to your 401k, health savings accounts, child care deductions, medical expenses, and mortgage interest. Now, having said that, if you make between $25,000 and $75,000 a year, your taxes are estimated to drop somewhere in the neighborhood of $780. If you make $100,000 or between $100,000 and $150,000, your taxes should drop by $2,010. Now, this calculation really doesn't take into account how you file, meaning single or married, but it is somewhat of an educated guess, at least until the IRS releases those conversion tables, which again is going to happen a little bit later on this month. But that's where we stand right now. I'm Bill McGinty, your consumer reporter here at NBC Charlotte.